window. Let's start from the beginning. Well, this was a job and a half. Haven't done much fencing before, but I think that this turned out pretty decent. Probably there's better ways to do it, but we did it the way that we knew how. Archie, Penny. Thank you to everyone who helped, Ashley, Joe, and of course Armando. Thank you to Colin for the hookup with the wire. The wire is a temporary solution because wood is so freaking expensive, but we needed a fence to function as a fence. So it's not much to look at right now, but when we can, you know, justify buying wood, we will do that. But for now, we have an 8-hour drive ahead of us. Wow, the seat is really far forward. And since that's kind of boring, why don't you check out some of the other things that we've been up to? That didn't make sense. Why don't I show you some of the other things that we've been up to besides building this fence?
Imagine there's no heaven. See if you try.
Obviously I can't do that. That was way too heavy. Okay, next song.
And you go up and catches.
Dan, he likes his boring.
Oh yeah.
Oh!
I won.
In the morning, dress the kids for school and drop them on the corner in the morning. Skip out work, it's boring in the morning, in the morning. Drive around, scoring in the morning, in the morning. Now you're lying on your back. Six little minutes on, if there's more good than harm, you tell yourself you're in control. Lots of smoke with dead line, washcloth soaked in turpentine, wash away all the pain. And he likes exploring in the morning, in the morning. Sell the kids for food in the morning, enough to snort it. Now you're lying on your back. Six little minutes on, if there's more good than harm, you tell yourself you're in control. Lots of smoke with steady line, washcloth soaked in turpentine, wash away all the pain.
Well, that was unexpected, kind of frustrating. But did you like that song? Hopefully my efforts in trying to find good music for this vlog, because sometimes it can be difficult, is going better than my efforts in trying to withdraw cash from this bank. For some reason, the bank machines don't work here. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what we're gonna do because the bank is closed. But this leaves a perfect opportunity to cut into this vlog and explain some of the footage to add some context. So during our last adventure, which we chronicled in the last vlog and in the whole series, we did other things other than just search for ghost towns and pick up coal and whatnot. So Ashley's brother Joel is into rock climbing, and actually in the house we were staying in, you could see Turtle Mountain out the living room window. And years ago, half of Turtle Mountain fell off, creating a huge rock slide that covered the town of Frank, which unfortunately killed everyone who lived in that town because it happened at night, except for one person. And that one person happened to be a baby. So it is now known as Frank's Slide, and so it's left boulders all over the place. And since we were here, we decided that we would tag along with Joel and Greg and Irene and some other people that you guys haven't met, but you'll see them in the footage there, to do some bouldering. Bouldering is a type of rock climbing where you just find difficult ways to get on top of boulders for the sake of fun, I guess. There's a grading system from V0 being the easiest to V16, I think, if I remember correctly, being the hardest. And the difference between a 0 and even a 1 is quite a leap. I didn't bring my rock climbing shoes because I didn't know that we were going to be doing this, but I kind of wish I did to see how well I could do. I could only do a 0 in my Vans. But just for an example, like a 0 would have handholds like this steering wheel. Super easy things to grab onto, lots of footholds. Whereas even a 1 would get a lot harder. So even like grabbing onto this radio knob might be on a 1. It just kind of depends. Although there can be easy holds and less easy holds on any kind of route. It just depends on, like, maybe you're on a very steep incline, so you might have a nice hand hold. I guess they call them jugs if it's like a nice big hold. But if you're like kind of like 45 degrees leaning back, it could still be like a 5 or 6 or whatever. On this particular boulder that we were climbing, there was a 0, a 1, a 4, and a 6 that I know of. And unfortunately, I could only do the 0. But next time we go back there, I'm going to see if I can bring my shoes and see how well I could do. It was fun nonetheless. That'll be the next thing I show you. We're going to have to figure out something else about getting cash.
Go straight up, don't move it.
It's a good crimp.
Good crimp. Nice. Move your left hand out there.
That's a better crimp.
Nice. Good job. High foot here. Right foot here. Right foot. Put your right foot there. Go straight up to that sharp side. Come on. I got you.
Good try, though. Oh.
We need shoes, Greg. What shoes are we wearing?
Can't do it.
Low, low, low. Oh, nice. Nice. All right. You get it. You got it. Come on.
Yeah!
Step the nose. Match up.
You got it, you got it, you got it, you got it!
Yeah. Hold on.
You got it!
Got it? Nice.
Yes! Man, people who haven't done this before have no idea. It's so deceiving. You gotta have like strong individual fingers.
Nice.
It's way harder than it looks.
Woo!
Dude, that guy's good. He doesn't even need a spotter. He's like, whatever, I'm gonna do this in my regular shoes. And his laces aren't even tied.
Let's do that, B2.
Come back and do it tomorrow.
Thanks to Pat. I guess he's a good luck charm. But thank you for being a patron. That's yours to bring home now. That was a long drive. Man, and it was kind of boring. And it was very dark because it gets darker at a normal time now. All right. And now... now we have a gate. And it's not much to look at. Earlier I said we needed a fence to function as a fence. So it's not much to look at right now, but these really bring the eyesore level up a few notches. But the reason why we're using plywood is because we're not sure what design we want to do for the fence. The wire is cheap right now, so since it would work to act as a barrier, that's what we're going with. But also we're thinking ahead. When we do decide what we want to do with this fence permanently, we're going to reuse this wire for a future project, likely the sheep fence that we'll be building in the back. So nothing here will go to waste. It all kind of works out. Eventually we would like to put in wood, but we're not sure what we'd like to do. Something traditional, like a picket type fence, or like a rail type fence, or maybe something contemporary, which could also be a rail fence, or maybe something completely unique for everything that we have here. We're not sure. What do you guys think? What would suit us? We're not sure exactly what we want to do, but we have a lot of time to think about it in the meantime, because wood prices don't seem to be going down anytime soon. It's worked out in the past for us to have to wait for things. Cool ideas have come, so we'll see if the same thing happens for this. Once we know what we are going to go for, we are going to change these gates, because these look, that one's not so bad, and this one's not so bad, but this one, that's freaking hideous. We're using what we have on hand, so we don't have to buy anything. But I cannot wait till we decide what design we'd like to go with for the fence here, because yeah, unfortunately that's all we had on hand, but it still works. It'll still function, so that's good enough. Plus, ow, sliver right into the thumbnail. Frick, that hurt. Hopefully that doesn't keep happening. Slivers. But if it does, that'll just motivate us to think of a design even quicker. And we don't have to look at this hideous thing anymore. But I don't think anyone's going to notice the hideous gate when we got this guy around. This is Henry. The whole reason for the fence, for safety and training purposes, and you know, all sorts of different things like that. And the reason for the 8-hour drive. Worth it. Yeah, they're up there. They're humping. What? They're humping.
The one that just jumped in there?
Yeah, I don't know if I got that though.
Is it the same one or a different one?
There's two up there at least.
Like automatically run across the road and start humping.
Why did the deer cross the road?